Do you want to learn exactly how to generate leads in real estate? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to talk about in this video coming up. Alright, so let's dive in. I want you to think of lead generation like pulling different levers. Now, if you're not selling, say, at least 24 houses a year, you probably should only be pulling 1 or 2 levers. If you're trying, 5, 10 different lead generation strategies, that may be why you're not selling as many houses as you want to be selling. And even if you're selling 100 plus homes a year, then you probably should be only pulling maybe 3 or 4 different lead generation levers. One of the biggest reasons my first year in real estate I didn't sell as many houses as I wanted to was because I was trying to pull too many levers. I was trying open houses, lead generation on Craigslist and Facebook. I was trying expireds for sale by owners, circle prospecting, going to networking events, and I definitely did not sell as many houses as I wanted to. However, once I started pulling just 2 levers, about 6 months into my real estate career, I finished my first year with over 20 listings, which propelled me in my second year to sell over 36 houses. Let's talk a little bit about listing lead generation levers. Now, there's a type of different ways that you can generate leads for listings. Some are very low cost or free, and some are paid. So let's start with the low cost or free lead generation activities. Now, your fastest, quickest and cheapest way to getting listings is going to be expired listings and for sale by owners. It's just a fact. There's nothing that you can spend money on that's going to get you to a listing faster than expireds and for sale by owners. The reason expired listings and for sale by owners is now business is because obviously they want to sell their house. An expired listing was just on the market, failed to sell, that's why they're now an expired listing. So that's an opportunity for you to reach out and list that property now. They want to sell their house. Same with for sale by owners. A lot of for sale by owners just don't know a good real estate agent. That's why they're a for sale by owner. And some for sale by owners just try it for a little bit and then hire an agent. They just want to try it out on their own before they decide to hire an agent and spend that money on commission. So expireds and for sale by owners are sellers that we know want to sell their house now. Why would you be avoiding them? You definitely want to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the alert bell because I'm going to be coming out with more in-depth videos about how to go about actually generating these leads and what to do once you get the leads. But real quick, if you just want to get started with expireds and FSBOs, you're going to want to sign up for a service like Vulcan 7, RedX, Mojo Dialer, LandVoice. There's a lot of different tools you can use, but basically you just want to find something that's going to make your time more efficient. You want a service that's actually going to locate the phone numbers for you, and you want some kind of dialer system, that way you can make more contacts per hour. While we're on the prospecting topic, another great way to generate leads that's low cost or free is circle prospecting. Now with circle prospecting, the simplest ones are just listed calls or just sold calls. That's just simply reaching out to the neighborhood when you just listed or just sold a property, or this could be a listing in your office if you don't have any listings, and you simply just call around the neighborhood and say, "Hi, this is AJ Maida with XYZ Realty. I just wanted to give you a call because we just listed a house on 123 Main Street." That's kind of the intro, and then there's a series of questions that you want to go through to determine motivation on when they might want to sell their house. So that's just listed and just solds. My favorite way of circle prospecting though is using a new buyer script, or hot buyer script I like to call it. And what you do is you use, if it's your buyer or maybe somebody in your office has a buyer, you call every neighborhood in your city that's in that price point, similar style home. And these types of calls are so simple to make. You simply say something along the lines of, "Hi, this is AJ Maida with XYZ Realty. I'm calling because I have a buyer that's looking to purchase a home in your neighborhood. By any chance, do you know anyone thinking about selling?" They're probably going to say no. So then you say, "Great. By the way, when do you plan on moving?" And if they're really thinking about selling, they're going to tell you because you have a buyer in hand that might be interested in purchasing their house. You're going to get tons of leads this way. That is my favorite circle prospecting strategy there is, and it's so simple. Now eventually you want to start enhancing your prospecting with marketing. One great strategy is farming neighborhoods with direct mail. That's going to cost, of course. You're going to want to mail them at least 2 times, at the very minimum 1 time per month. And you're going to want to start with at least a farm community of 500 homes. And you need to be consistent. That's the key. And sometimes you may not see a return on your investment for 12 to 18 months out. So this definitely is not now business. but you definitely want to start doing some kind of marketing behind your prospecting at some point. Just know you don't want to start with this if you're looking for listings now. This should be a long-term play, and you should have a budget in mind that you can put aside of, say, $3,000, $4,000 to really have that sitting there to keep investing in your farm, so you don't just, 3 months in just say, you know what, this isn't working, I give up. You want to have that money allocated because it is a long-term commitment when you're farming neighborhoods. You can also generate leads on Facebook using ads like find out what your home is worth, click here, something along those lines. But still, a lot of times you're getting a very low quality lead because they just want to know what their home's worth. They're not necessarily a seller right now, but that gives you a reason to reach out and to give them an idea of what their home might be worth. And there are tools that are automated that you can use to do this as well, but that way you can start a relationship. But just know the pipeline for that type of lead is going to be much longer than expireds and for sale by owners. Same with circle prospecting, that the pipeline for that is also going to be much longer. That's just a few ways you can generate seller leads. There's a lot more, but those are some of my favorites, and that's going to get you started. Now let's talk about generating leads for buyers. These are your buyer levers. Now there's two ways again that you can look at this: low cost and free, or paid. Let's start with low cost or free. My favorite for this is going to be open houses. Now the key with open houses is putting out a lot of signs. You might see in your community the typical open house done by realtors has like 5 signs if they're doing a really good job, and some balloons. You don't want to just hold any house open. If the average sales price in your community, in your target area, say is $250,000, then don't be holding open houses on homes at 500 plus. You're not going to get the traffic that you're looking for. And also, do not hold open houses out in the middle of nowhere. No one's going to see your signs to get to the open house, and they're not going to want to come because it's in the middle of nowhere. So you want to find an open house that's around the average sales price in your area and that's close to major intersections. And like I said, lots of signs. 15, 20, even better, 25 to 30 signs for every open house that you do. You can get these low cost when you order in bulk. A great website for that is buildasign.com. Open houses are your now buyer leads. These people, yeah, of course some, are just out looking for fun, but on the other hand, a lot of them are looking to do something right now because they're actually going out of their way to check out open houses. So this is your now buyer business. This, as a new agent, is very low cost. You just need the cost of signs, and sometimes you can even borrow those from the agent that might be letting you hold their listing open. So focus on these first, but don't do them sporadically. Again, this is all about consistent effort. You're going to want to hold an open house open at least one every single weekend. Do that for an entire year, and I promise you're going to be closing some homes and you're going to be successful in real estate. Now, the second free or very low cost way I want to talk about is generating leads on Facebook and Craigslist. Now you might be thinking, Craigslist, are you kidding me? The first buyer I ever sold a house to was from Craigslist. Now let's talk about Facebook first. There's actually online garage sales in pretty much every city around the entire country. What you want to do is you want to post really great listings that would get a lot of traffic on them in these Facebook online garage sale groups. What you want to do is search your city. So let's say online garage sales Charlotte, online garage sales Mooresville. These are cities that I worked in, and just see what you can find and ask to join every single group. And then you're going to start posting consistently multiple times a day, times where people might be looking maybe around lunchtime and in the evenings, and on weekends are great too. And you want to post a link of that listing to your website, and you want your website to be able to capture that lead. Now what I mean by capturing the lead is when they go to your website and they look at that first property, once they go to look at other properties, which they're going to want to do, is a box is going to pop up. We call this a lead capture box, and it's going to say, hey, to continue searching on my website, put in your name, number, and email, something like that. That way, once you get that lead, it's automatically going to go to your phone or your email if you have a good CRM system. That's very important. You're going to need a good CRM system when working with buyers. Now it's the same thing with Craigslist. That same house that you're posting over in those Facebook groups, go over to Craigslist and post the exact same house. These are both great strategies. They're going to generate leads. The key to these is lead follow-up and speed to lead. When that lead comes in, make sure you're calling them within the first 5 minutes. And then if you can't get a hold of them, call them again right after. A lot of times people actually pick up the phone the second time. So that's what you're going to want to do. And remember, speed to lead is key. And if you don't get a hold of them, follow-up is where the fortune is made. Let's talk about some paid ways to generate leads for buyers. Pay-per-click advertising is a great way to do that, both on Google and Facebook. Now you got to remember, when you're generating these types of leads, the buying cycle is much longer than, say, an open house lead. So let's say, for example, someone's scrolling Facebook, they're looking at their friend's, cat, and, looking at some funny video that they see on Facebook, and then boom, search for homes in this price point in this area, click here. So now they click here, and now they're searching for homes. They're probably not buying a house right now, but they saw that ad and it was interesting enough to where maybe they're thinking about, 6 months to a year down the road buying a house, so they want to start looking now. Buying cycle for these types of buyers leads is typically 6 to 12 months out. And you got to remember, because I hear agents all the time saying these leads aren't good. No, these leads are good. You just got to have the proper expectation. A pay-per-click lead, like I said, is going to take a lot of times 6 months to 12 months out to convert, although some do convert immediately, so there are some, but just know they do take longer typically. I want you to remember, when calling pay-per-click type leads, the conversion rates are extremely low. It's so important to have the proper expectation going in. Out of every 100 leads that you generate, you should only expect to close between 1 to 3. That's the reality of it. If anyone's telling you more than 3%, they don't know what they're talking about, because that does not happen. If you're really good, you're looking at about 3%. If you're average, 1 to 2%. So you just got to remember that. So if you need to close, say, 1 to 2 homes per month from these leads, you're going to need about 100 per month. And in most markets, the average price is going to range anywhere from $10 to $20 per lead when generating these types of leads. All right, everyone's favorite topic, Zillow and Realtor.com. Love them or hate them, they work. You got to know your conversion rates. It's expensive. There's contracts. If you're brand new to real estate, I do not recommend getting into these types of contracts with companies. And for sure, never enter in any type of long-term commitment with a company that you don't know for sure 100% works. The way you know it 100% works is you talk to somebody that's your mentor and ask them their advice. I wasted $5,000 on Realtor.com my first year on this pilot lead program they had that was exclusive to me, and I lost it. I think 3 leads came in. It was a complete waste of money. So you always want to ask somebody before spending any type of money on leads. You need a mentor. So with Zillow and Realtor, again, you just need to know your conversion rates. Say, for example, you want to start generating leads with Zillow. You're going to enter into a contract with them anywhere from 6 months to a year, and you're going to have specific zip codes. And they can be really expensive. They can range anywhere from $100, $200+ per lead coming in. However, with these types of leads, it's kind of like an open house. Like, this is now business a lot of times, because they're actually inquiring on a specific property. The psychology of the buyer when reaching out is completely different. They're inquiring on a specific property, which means they're closer to buying now, whereas pay-per-click type leads, they're just searching for random homes, really. What I've seen for Zillow is a good conversion rate is going to be anywhere from 10 to 15%. So if you get 10 Zillow leads, you should be converting about 1. Maybe if you're newer at it, 1 out of every 15. So the conversion rates are much, much better with a Zillow. Again, speed to lead's key. You got to reach out. You got to call them within 5 minutes ideally. And then follow up, follow up, follow up. Follow up, again, is where the fortune is made in real estate. And Zillow is just like Realtor. In some markets, I see Zillow getting better results, and in some markets, I see Realtor.com getting better results. Now, the number one question I get on this topic is, AJ, where do I start? Well, it really depends, unfortunately. It depends on, do you want to be a listing agent or a buyer's agent? Do you have a budget? Do you not have a budget? If you want the most control of your schedule, then absolutely go towards the listing levers. If you have 0 to little money, then go after expireds, for sale by owners, circle prospecting. If you're okay working with buyers and have money, then start with some pay-per-click advertising because it's cheaper. If you have questions on where you should start, post them in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to get in there and answer all your questions. And also, if you have some great ideas that might be working for lead generation for you right now, go ahead and post those in the comments too, because that would help the entire community. I hope you got some good stuff out of this video. Again, subscribe to my channel, hit that alert bell, because it really helps that YouTube algorithm and will really help these videos get out to more agents, and together we all win. I'll see you in the next one.